Yautja are prey to none, friend to none, predator to all. Yautja Codex 0422/25.
Did the new predator Deg in the movie Predator Badlands actually fail the blooding ritual, his first hunt? Well, major spoilers ahead, as here I have 5 reasons to support the fact that he failed the hunt and 2 more reasons to brand him as a bad blood predator now. So first and foremost, Predator Badlands was a good movie. It was fun, I like it. It was interesting and also not rushed, well, for the most part at least. Is it another Predator movie? Well, not really. The director himself said that this won't be like the previous ones, but instead a way to expand onto the Predator lore and see one as a protagonist. With that being said, I ain't sheep. I'm gonna point things out no matter what. The entire thing about Deg's blooding ritual, the first hunt, his coming of age, to mark him as a hunter, is in conflict with the established Predator lore from the AVP comics, the previous movies, games, and the other media. Anyway, let's get to why the title says what it says, why he failed. Let's get to it. Reason number 1, failing in choosing a viable prey. Deg's failure in choosing a viable prey from the start in Predator Badlands represents a fundamental breach of the Yautja Code of Honor. According to the lore established in Aliens vs Predator War and other expanded universe materials, the mythos, the Yautja society maintains a strict guideline regarding what constitutes a worthy hunt and to who. These laws are deeply tied to their rites of passage and their hierarchical structure. The young ones, the unblooded Yautja, those who have not yet earned their marks through honorable kills and hunts, are expressively forbidden from hunting intelligent species like humans, engineers, or any species capable of advanced reasoning and societal structure. Their hunts must instead focus on feral beasts or dangerous fauna that test their skill and survival instincts, not their moral restraint. Deg's decision to target the Kalisk, a species renowned for its intelligence and dominance over its ecosystem on the planet of Genna, directly violates this long-standing code. While the Kalisk may lack technological sophistication, its cognitive capacity, environmental mastery, and its role as an apex predator clearly places it in the category of sentient or near-sentient life, and thus may be off-limits to an unblooded hunter. For Deg to pursue such prey not only undermines the sanctity of the Yautja rite of passage, but also reflects a dangerous arrogance here and a misunderstanding of his people's tradition. Okay, now next, reason number 2 that he failed is failing in tracking. Within Yautja culture, the act of hunting is far more than the final kill. It is a sacred process which encompasses every stage from the initial study of the prey, to the long and patient stalking, to the calculated strike and killing of the prey item. From an early age, the Yautja are rigorously trained not only in combat but in the art of survival and environmental mastery. They are expected to adapt to any terrain, to read subtle signs of movements or scents, and rely both on instincts and discipline as well as their technology to locate their quarry or prey without external assistance. Tracking is a skill that defines a hunter's competence. To lose the trail or to depend on others for guidance is to show weakness and disrespect towards the hunt itself. In Predator Badlands, Deg's inability to locate the Kalisk without help exposes his inadequacy and impatience. After his ship's crash, he was stripped of his equipment, an unfortunate but uncommon setback in Yautja hunts. However, according to their code, his first duty should have been to recover and secure his lost technology before resuming the hunt. Predator technology is sacred, and leaving it unaccounted for is an offense nearly as grave as dishonoring the hunt itself. Anyway, instead of re-establishing control of his gear and methodically tracking his prey through skill and instinct, Deg instead relied on Thea, which is a synthetic being of Weyland-Yutani that he regarded as merely a tool to guide him. Well, maybe that is his justification. This dependence undermines the very essence of the Yautja hunt, which demands self-reliance and personal mastery over both environment and the prey item. Okay, so the third reason here is he failed in hunting alone. Deg's failure to hunt alone marks yet another violation of the Yautja's sacred hunting traditions, and it shows his inadequacy as a true warrior of his kind, his species. The Yautja Code of Honor demands that a hunter, especially one undergoing the blooding ritual, must rely solely on his own strength, cunning, and instinct to complete the hunt. Although there are instances of other predators hunting in packs or even with other species like in AVP, these are done by experienced hunters against prey items that are a threat to the order of things. Also, unblooded may go for their first hunts with a pack of 3 or 5, as was seen in AVP, but they are supposed to hunt their own and not interfere with each other or help one another find a trophy. From a young age, the Yautja are conditioned to adapt to any environment, whether it be with the burning sands of Yautja Prime, the acid-soaked swarms of alien worlds, or even frozen wastelands of distant moons. The ability to endure and thrive through without aid is what separates a true hunter from an untested initiate. Thus, in Predator Badlands, Dex reliance on Thea and Bud, the creature, to survive the planet called Genna, represents a profound breach of his creed. Both characters directly assisted him, whether by guiding him through the terrain, helping him recover from injury, or aiding him in locating his prey and even take down a lunar bug, a large prey item which might have been his ticket home. Anyway, such reliance on outsiders violates the very essence of the blooding ritual, which is meant to test not only the hunter's lethality, but also their endurance, intellect, cunning, and self-sufficiency. For an unblooded like Deg, depending on others to track, survive, and engage is like cheating on an exam, and it reflects a deep immaturity and lack of discipline. The fact that he allowed both a Kalisk child and a synthetic to influence his hunt not only invalidates the claim to any honor, but also invalidates the hunt itself and shows that he's still unfit to be a blooded Yautja. So if you're still not convinced, then reason number 4 is he failed the hunt. Deg's greatest failure lies in the fact that he did not complete the hunt, the most fundamental requirement of the Yautja blooding ritual. Even if one were to overlook his prior missteps, such as the questionable choice of prey, his reliance on others which he might justify as tools, and the breach of independence, the core of the Yautja code is simple. The hunt must end with the hunter claiming a trophy or he dies doing it, usually the trophy being the skull of a defeated prey item or quarry, as proof of both triumph and worthiness. Despite the Kalisk being, by some lenient interpretation, a viable prey item worthy of a blooding ritual or a trial, Deg failed to secure its skull, which is the ultimate symbol of honor and the success of the blooding ritual. For a Yautja to return empty-handed without the prey item that he intended to come with is a deep dishonor, as this here signifies that the hunt was incomplete and the rite was unfulfilled. Regardless of whether Thea was viewed as merely a tool or Bud as a passive companion, the absence of a trophy nullifies all efforts, rendering the entire hunt meaningless. And reason number 5, he failed to bring in any other valuable trophy. So even if the Kalisk was far too much for an unblooded Yautja to bring down, the fact that he came home with no proper trophies except for a tool's head is unbecoming for Hunter. See, he called Thea the synthetic as a tool. That is the justification. Well, Tessa is another synthetic, and so another tool. He could have came back with the skull of a lunar bug, that massive 3-legged creature that he managed to kill, well, with some assistance. Instead, Deg's decision to bring back Tessa's head, a synthetic being, shows a profound misunderstanding of the Yautja honor code. Synthetics are not recognized as living prey and therefore hold no value as trophies. They cannot bleed, feel fear, or fight with instinct, which are all qualities that define the worthiness of a kill and the hunt. Presenting an artificial head as proof of his hunt's success not only invalidates but disgraces the very concept of the blooding ritual, reducing the sacred rites of passage and their oath to the Black Hunter into a hollow and dishonorable act, and thus shows that he failed in the hunt and he doesn't deserve to be a blooded Yautja. Fun fact, the Black Hunter and another god called Chitanu are two gods of the hunt which are worshipped by the Yautja or the Predators. Now, what is the current status of Deg in the Yautja society? Well, by the standards of the Yautja culture, Deg's actions throughout Predator Badlands would mark him unmistakably as a bad blood, a dishonored hunter who has betrayed the core tenets of the hunt and forfeited his place amongst his kind. The Yautja code of honor is absolute. It governs not only how a hunt is conducted but also how a hunter faces failure and death and punishment. There is no room for daddy issues or distorted senses of belonging or failing in the hunt. The Yautja rules are constant and absolute, unchanging and unforgivable, as alien as the aliens themselves. Such behavior is anathema to Yautja tradition. The Black Bloods are not merely failed hunters, they are those who defy the spiritual and ethical laws that bind Yautja society together. By choosing companionship and emotional attachment over the sacred call of the hunt, Deg here demonstrates weakness, indecision, and rejection of his heritage and his race. Yet his final and most damning transgression lies in his emotional compromise. Instead of fulfilling his purpose by completing the hunt or dying with honor, Dek allowed sentiment to override his duty. Rather than eliminating the synthetic threats, and continuing his pursuit of the Kalisk, he chose instead to protect that creature, the prey item, and even join a clan composed of the very beings that should have been his prey and a tool. You might think the previous set of events like, daddy issues, daddy killing his brother, and being the run of the clan would force him to such things, but you have to remember that he, Dek, is a predator, a Yautja, and not a human, and such things are really beneath him. It's like the Yautja are evolved beyond that. In Yautja eyes, it is better to die by one's own blade than to live with dishonor, to take one's life or die in the pursuit of the hunt than to come back empty-handed. For to survive after shaming the hunt is to become an outcast. Thus Dek's story therefore is not one of redemption but one of corruption, a hunter who abandoned the creed of his ancestors and embraced the unthinkable, coexistence with prey, breaking the Yautja Codex 0422/25 as was shown in the beginning of the movie that Yautja are friend to none. So Dek didn't just fail the hunt and is still an unblooded Yautja, but over the course of the hunt he actually became officially a bad blood. So that's what I think about Dek and the Predator blooding ritual in the movie Predator Badlands. Now do hit the like button for support and that hype option for hyping up the video to other viewers. Also subscribe and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, fam.